Hey guys, and welcome to Vanguard Tactics, your channel for all things competitive 40k.
Yeah.
So I'm Stephen Box.
I'm Joe. Sleepy Joe.
Sleepy Joe.
Yeah.
So if you've got any questions whatsoever, then please send them in, obviously around 40k, or maybe some health and fitness, stuff as well I can probably dabble at. Any lore questions?
Lore questions. How to paint.
I'll take the lore questions.
How to paint a floor in 3 hours. That's what I did today.
Banging
job.
If you mean paint the floor and also the walls.
I did paint the walls, yes.
So earlier, I come into the room and basically I said to Joe, did you not want to cut in? Which is a real common technique to basically bring it, use a small brush to around the edges, and then you can use the roller inside the edges.
I did that.
Joe's like, I'm used to painting small models, not a big room.
If you wanted a professional to come in and paint the floor, you should ask me.
Yeah, but my point is, if it's the other way around, you're used to doing intricate details.
Yeah.
I wouldn't have cared if you got out an artist's opus brush and cut in if you really wanted to.
That was in days. I cut in on the floor.
Where you couldn't be bothered?
No, all the way around.
No, you didn't.
I did. I cut in all the way around. I just got a little bit like, you're like, ooh, I could get that roller a little bit closer to the wall.
And then squidged it
like
right up against the wall.
Slightly kissed it a couple times.
So now our phone has got white paint on it, and anyway, so...
Well, no, I said that basically I've got to repaint this as well, because Steve spray painted all over it. So I was like, I'm going to have to I'm going to have to tidy it up.
No, you don't.
So,
it's not been shot, bro.
That's not even a shot over there.
Yeah, but see the spray paint on the edge gives it what's called a vignette. So it brings the attention to here, but you've just got white splotches.
You can't even see it. You can't even see the white splotches.
So anyway.
Gives it some character.
So Stephen Carpenter said, on the health and fitness front, why are you so sleepy, Joe? As a painting question.
I'm so sleepy, right? Because we're going to paint. We came in this morning, so we're going to record a battle report today, and I was like, excellent, so I'm feeling that. And it was like, no, we're going to empty the entire studio, and then we're going to paint the wall, paint the floor. And I was like, I could do that, that's fine, we could do that, right? Went off, got the paint and stuff, came back, sorted it all up. It was like, okay, I've got to go have a meeting now. Back in 3 hours, when you've done the job.
What, 2 hours?
2 and a bit hours.
Between 1 and 3.
Left me to do it on my own, literally dripping. So when they say blood, sweat, and tears, there is literally my sweat.
You've moaned more about painting a section of a wall and the floor more than I ever moaned about painting this wall, that wall, that wall, the floor, this wall, and the ceiling.
I couldn't do it on my own. You left me.
And what do you think I did?
But no, you weren't here to leave yourself though, so you had to do it.
And I tell you what, painting the ceiling much harder than the floor. You have to get up a ladder every time you want to paint.
I've got a stick to do it.
You do now because I paid £10 for a stick for you.
Yeah.
Anyway, so getting back to 40k because now Joe's had a moan. He's obviously. You happy for sharing that with everybody? Is it you feel better now?
Yeah.
Cool. Good. All right. Moving on. Right. So mine said, "Hey there, I love you guys. You're becoming my favourite channel." Yes, Martin. You're my favourite Martin. Yeah. Did you see the changes to character targeting and charging? We did. We did. The new rule for characters. How do I feel about that? So let's just basically recap what's happened. You can shoot a character now, providing that he's not within 3 of a vehicle or monster, or he's not within 3 of a unit of 3 or more models.
Yeah.
So you could have 3 scouts from 3 different units, you can still shoot that character. You could have a scout unit here, a character back here, and if he's isolated you can still shoot him. So that means holding objectives with characters is a little bit more challenging now, which means we're really going to need more sort of survivable monsters, vehicles and troops.
I think it's good because it means that people are going to have to be a lot more hot on how they position their squads and their characters. Because if at tournament and someone puts it 3.5 inches away, you can be like, gonna have to kill him now. It's gonna have to die. Obviously, you could be nice and be like, was your intention for him to be within 3?
Well, no, you would say, did you have the movement to get within 3. Because
Yeah.
if they don't have the movement, regardless if there is their intention or not, because if they would have just moved them their maximum 6 inches and not declared the advance, but would have had to advance, that means they left themselves open to a potential charger or shoot their weapon, so they can't have it both ways. Yeah. So,
But it also means like bigger characters make more sense now. You don't always less feel badly that your card effects or your hive tyrant could be shot because he's got like 10 wounds or your demon prince. Yeah.
So Wayne said married couples. We're not married. We're not a couple. We're 2 people.
Feels like it some days. Like some days we're like happily married, like honeymoon.
Right, okay.
Some days
it's getting strange like, now.
Sometimes it's like a couple that's literally just been divorced. Yeah.
That's all I hear. Moan, moan, moan. My name's Joe. Moan, moan, moan. Right, there we go. Look. Nick, here we go. What have we got here? Luke said, "Hi guys, hope all is well. I was wondering what each of your first tournament experience was like. What tournament was? How did you get on?" Great question, Luke. So, what was your first ever tournament experience?
My first ever tournament experience was at Warhammer World.
Yeah.
For a doubles tournament.
Okay.
And I had Dark Eldar.
Surprise.
And I got teamed up with a lovely guy called Andy.
Okay.
With his Tau. And I'd never met him before.
Right.
Literally, there's a group of us going, and there was like some from one group, some from another, and some people were like, "I don't want to team up with this guy." So they're like, "Joe, you go with Andy." And I met him literally 5 minutes before our first game. But it was great. It was good fun. He was nice. We did, I think we went 4-on-1 actually, but this was during like early 7th edition.
Right.
It was quite good.
Yep.
Everyone was really nice. Warhammer World tournaments are brilliant because the lunch is included. Get like a roast dinner. It's quite good. So regardless of the terrain or the rules or anyone like that, as long as Joe gets a free lunch, he's happy. Yeah. But yeah, the terrain at Warhammer World it's really good quality terrain, but they're just very bit sparse on the ground. And you get everything's on the Realm of Battle tables. Bit slidey sometimes. It's a bit clacky, bit slidey, but visually looks great. Very, very good. Does look great. Yeah.
So my first experience was at Warhammer Fest. On the day they released 8th edition, so it was a 7th edition tournament. It was my first ever tournament, but it was the last ever tournament of 7th, and it was an unbound tournament. And I just rocked up with simply, a CAD. Yeah.
Combined arms attachment, which is basically what a battalion is now.
Of Eldar. I had like a bit of this, bit of that, I didn't have any Wraith Knights. I think I had 1 Scat Pack. I didn't have any. I basically one of everything, right?
This is back in the days when it was common practice to have
3 Wraith Knights.
3 Wraith Knights, 3 Riptides in the same army.
Yeah, so, but I had all those nerves, like, is my army painted enough? Have I based it? Is my army list correct? Have I got it in the right format? What's my first opponent going to be like? How do I deal with their sportsmanship issues? I had all those worries. So really, it's actually those first few events I ever did that was the main reason and the inspiration for me to create the Academy. Because I didn't want other people to go through those same feelings of fear, anxiety, self-doubt, because you want to do well. You've put all this time into your painting, into your hobby, and you want to go and have a respectful score, don't you?
Especially at like a singles event. Well. If your first tournament's a singles event, it's a lot harder than the doubles. Because when you're with doubles, you're with your mate and you've got someone to talk to the whole time.
Doubles are not as competitive as a singles. No. It's a very different mindset. So the people that go to a singles event are more than likely going to be at a higher standard than that go to a doubles event because it's just a very clear, distinct
when you go
barrier.
To a singles event, everyone's there to win. Yeah. Like you don't.
Well, not necessarily there to win. They want to do their best.
They want to do well. Everyone's there. A lot of people go there like, I'm going to go 5-0. I think you're very much in that mindset. Like I'm going to be like.
So for me, it's a case of all I want to try and do is improve on my previous score. Yeah. So for my previous event, I went 4-1. I want to try and push for 4 wins, a draw, and a loss. or I want to go 5-0.
Yeah. Like I go to an event and I'm expecting 3-2, but I'm gunning for that 4-1. That's like my personal best. I've never won all 5 games.
So I have this lesson on the academy, which is all about setting realistic expectations and goal setting, and I have like a kind of a success goal, and then what we call like a stretch goal. Okay, so you have like a bare minimum, what we class as success, and then a stretch goal. And a stretch goal is like what you would really like to aspire to, and it might be something you'd work towards in the future. So it's possible, just highly unlikely. So me going 5-0 now is likely, but it's not. Do you know what I mean? So it's like, whereas if I go back a year ago, it would have been possible, just unlikely for me to go 5-0 because I wasn't that caliber of player that I've got to now. But yeah, that first event I went 3-2. I was really happy with my result.
Sometimes it's like So if you're going to like a qualifier, so this is what I need to achieve to get there. So like when I did the Warhammer World Heats, I was like, to qualify, my minimum is 3 wins, 2 losses, but I need like 4 or 5 favourite game votes. Or to definitely get through, I have to win 4 games. Have to win 4 games, and then you're like, that's what I'm going to head for. Like losing a game isn't the end of the world because you could pick it up next.
It never is. Like I always say the bare minimum for me is to actually just make a friend. And now, because I've been really fortunate, I've won events, I've won GTs, I've kind of ticked that box off. Actually now what I want to do to go to an event is I don't just want to go 5-0 or 4-1, whatever it is, because I'm never going to win every game. There's always going to be a hard matchup, you just might be off that day. It's like when you PB in the gym, just because I've benched, I don't know, 170 before, doesn't mean every single week I go back in, I'm going to be able to bench 170 kilos. Some days I might only be able to do 160, but as long as I'm there or thereabouts, I can push up other times or whatever. But the most important thing for me now is not only to do as best as I possibly can, but for me to walk away from that feeling like I played the best game I possibly could, and also not win at all cost. If I can get some favourite game votes, amazing. Like there was one event I did at Battlefield Birmingham, and I went 4-1, but I also got 5 favourite game votes. And for somebody to place in the top 5 to also get 5 favourite game votes is pretty big. So I was really pleased with that.
I think so what you're saying is the most important thing is to have fun.
Absolutely.
Because when we did Beachhead, I didn't have the best army in the world.
No.
Like the army I wanted to take would have been a mishmash of different armies, and I was like, I don't feel comfortable running that.
Because you didn't paint it.
Because I didn't paint it. So I was like, I'm going to take the army I have painted, to see what I can do, and just have fun because I know I'm going to enjoy it. And I lost all 4 games day 1, and I won all my games day 2. But I had all the fun in the world. The sad fact was, my Drakari army annihilate Space Marines. Problem was, game 1, Craft Old Eldar, game 2, Harlequins, game 3, Craft Old Eldar, game 4, Carnifex Dacker list. Which is like, my army puts out 170 strength 6, strength 7 shots. And he went first, and I was like, yay.
And on, could have been heavier terrain at that tournament, right?
Yeah.
So, what was I going to say? Again,
fun.
Well, for me, fun for me is, did that game challenge me? So I could go to a game, right, and I've won games which I can play on autopilot. That necessarily isn't fun for me. I would much prefer a close, challenging game where my opponent brought their best and I brought my best. And I get more fun personally from knowing actually all the maneuvers, all the tactics, all the combos, all the strategies I wanted to do went the way I wanted them to, and I was able to yield that power and the skill to. And so that is what. So I love doing escape rooms, and I love being able to escape under a certain time. So the satisfaction I get from personally escaping from an escape room is great, and it's the same for why I play 40k. I like the mental stimulus, the challenge, whatever it might be. So for me, just rolling some dice isn't necessarily fun unless I'm playing with a mate and actually I'm enjoying their company more than necessarily than the game itself.
It's always nice when your opponent engages with you on like not just like on this is the game, but like on a personal level, someone that you can talk to, have a chat with, become friends with. If you play against a very closed off person, that can automatically kind of put you off from.
Absolutely. Like there's some people in 40k that I played, and do you know what? I'm still great mates with them now after playing one game against them. Like, I chat to them all the time, you know, or they shoot me a message on Facebook. Straight away we just hit it off. For example, Kyle plays Tau. Mine are his first
Is that
game.
like Kyle plays Tau? He should be a terrible person. However, he has redeeming features.
Yeah, he does. Yeah. He does. Yeah. So me and him had a great game, and every time we've played since. And I actually want to get him on the channel at some point in the future because he's a fantastic Tau player. So, I mean, look, I don't hate Tau players, you know. I mean, Jack's one of my best mates. He plays Tau. Jonesy, he's one of our best mates. He's getting into Tau. You've thought about Tau?
Well, Jonesy's Tau army was here, and I was like...
Got tempted.
I was like... It was in eyesight for more than a day, which immediately meant I went and read the codex and the supplement, and I'm like, I could do this.
You could. So, what else have we got here? Nicholas has said, what's up guys? First time catching you all live. Hope you're all staying safe. And you, mate, thank you very much. And welcome to your first live show. Hope you enjoy it. Hope you're enjoying it.
You've come at a good time because I'm here now. Every time. I thought you were stuck with Steve.
Hey, yesterday I did a banging live when you went here. Did a banging live. Yeah, it was good. Henrik said, what do you guys will happen? What do you guys think? I'm sure that will be meant to say will happen to Farsight Enclave Commander spam in 9th. Well,
I think it's still going to happen. They're still good.
Now that new character rule changes it a bit. Because before they could hover around the edges of the board, right? And obviously the shield drones in the middle would sap up there with the close enemy unit.
Yeah.
It does mean that they are going to have to rely on bodyguards, stealth suits, stuff like that to also come down. So I still think the Farsight Enclave is a good list. Yeah. And with the Tau, they're going to get loads of stuff.
Do they have like a stratagem or a relic which allows them to move after shooting, like the old jetpack rule?
They've got a couple of bits and bobs like that, yeah.
So I think it might just be a case of like jumping around and then hiding somewhere. I think Tau lists are going to have to change. I think all armies are going to have to change across the board. And it might be a case of you start the commanders off inside your army and then get across the board. So the commanders will still be there, but they're not going to see much action until turn 3, turn 4, maybe. Because they can still stand in front of the monster, can't they, and shoot?
Yeah, they could stand in... No, because it says unless it's the closest visible target.
So you could go broadside, commander, drones.
Yeah.
So he's not the closest model, but he is within 3 inches of a big monster. So you can't shoot him until you've killed the drones.
Well, no, because you could shoot the broadsides first, and then he's the closest enemy model.
Yeah, but they're hard to kill.
What, broadsides?
Riptide.
Oh, you said broadside.
Yeah. But the Riptide or the broadsides can then just use other drones.
So, Carl said Joe is the wife. I mean, I'm not going to comment. So next logo. I have a question. Okay, no problem. Alpha Legion have a Warlord trait which lets you redeploy before the game. 3 units, I think. Do you see any plan in this if you deploy second and are going second? No.
No, because it's like, because the only person you're basically playing a mini stealth game with yourself. Basically, yeah.
Unless you thought, oh my days, I've just made the biggest deployment error ever.
Yeah. If you realise it before they move their first model,
you go, whoa, I could redeploy 3 units. Yeah. And then maybe. So that's where it could. So apart from that. Or unless the Seas comes back in, maybe. You know,
well, the thing is, the Seas are still in normal 40k, it's just not in ITC. So it depends on what GW decides.
Personal predictions on potential Mordian regiment doctrine changes?
Mordian. So the Mordian regimental doctrine allows you to shoot at characters even if they're not the closest one.
Ooh.
Nice. It's still good though, because you're still going to be able to shoot at that character even if they're not the closest and there's loads of models in front of them. So you still have that sniping ability.
Yeah.
Because what will happen now with the new character rules is people will just change how they deploy their armies.
Yeah, absolutely. Primali said, or Steve Carpenter said, lol, the way Joe remembers things is awesome. Probably because it just goes, ask him food, so, you know, it's happy. Anyway,
I have, if
Primali,
I remember something, I have to tell the story of how I got there as well.
Yeah, I know. Primali says, hey guys, good to see you both, and you mate. JW, Farsight is still strong, but it's going to change a bit. Yeah, absolutely. John said, I've just returned to 40k a couple of months ago. Well, welcome back, John, and welcome to Vanguard Tactics.
It's really a very exciting time to come back.
Really appreciate you tuning in live and catching us. Really means a lot to us, actually, when people get back into the hobby and find us, which is great.
Yeah.
That's what we're here for. After an 8 to 10 year hiatus, I'm getting a bit scared for my first Imperial Knights army. Am I...
Pleasant to play against, or you?
I'm a worrying for nothing, or am I worrying for nothing? So it depends if you're using or against. Again, this is something that we talk about in the academy. We go over things like how you actually deal with knights on a consistent basis. And I actually think that is part of module 1, which is part of the 14-day free trial at the moment, which won't be around forever. So jump on that, and I'll tell you what, that will cover all things list design. That will give you the help that you're going to need. The link is below in the description or on our website, Vanguard Tactics. And yeah, you literally get, I think, eight videos for free straight away.
And don't be scared. Always remember, in 40k, everything can hurt everything. So you're always going to be able to wound knights. And knights are actually quite...
You say that, but let's be honest, it doesn't.
Yeah, but
like a lasgun is, even 100 lasguns do not kill a knight.
I know.
So you still need the right tools.
You need the right tools in your army.
And you need the right skill set.
Yeah.
And you need to know how they play. You need to know how to counter them. But I think the most important thing to remember is that, yes, your army may get absolutely crushed by knights, but there will be other lists that get crushed by yours. And it is this sort of triad of a rock, paper, scissors analogy, in which you then, and again, we go over this on the academy, how do you manipulate your army so you can deal with the rock if you're a scissor?
But it's also you look at your opponent's list and you look at your list and you go, cool, I can't kill these 4 ginormous models, but what I can do is score objectives, play the mission. Yeah,
or again, like, why even get to that stage? You should, in your list build, have something that can deal with it. And again, that's what we go over. So, JW said stealth suit probably scored a 6. I'm going to be strong meat shields, so to speak. Absolutely, I agree there.
I think 5s, because 6 tips you over the swarm.
Yeah, well,
I don't think
it's going to come up much. Henrik said, thanks guys, appreciate it, not a problem. Martin said, another question, do you think Dark Eldar will be strong this edition? Any favourite units for 9th edition? Martin, unfortunately, we don't have anyone here that really knows Dark Eldar very well, so we're going to move on.
Dark Eldar are going to be amazeballs. They're still just going to be just as powerful as they are now. We still have the best strat in the game, which is Vect. So we don't have a huge access to stuff that ignores Overwatch, but we do have a stratagem that turns off their stratagem. Incubi are going to be strong.
Okay. Right, so anyway, there's...
Witches and Reaver Jetbikes are going to be good.
Just, do you want to name all the units in the Codex?
No, just those 3.
Okay, just those 3.
And Drazar.
Right, another one. Anything else?
Oh, good.
Grotesques, are they going to be good?
They're always good.
Talos, are they going to be good?
They're always going to be good.
Ravages?
Flying monsters are the way forward.
Ravages?
They're always good.
So everything's good. That's what you said?
Everything.
Everything's good.
Even the Tantalus. If you can get one of those, get one.
And I'll tell you what else is good. On you, Vanguard Tactics, stainless steel, coffee mugs. There you go, look at those, beautiful. With a coffee little sipper. You can't really see it very well, but keeps your coffees nice and warm. These are going to be an event only exclusive, and we're going to plan on running the first ever 9th edition event. So as soon as we get the news for the 9th edition drop, we're going to run it 7 days after the release of 9th edition.
Yeah, obviously,
that close.
Lockdown permitting.
Lockdown permitting, and also we're going to be working with For Good the charity that are going to provide all the personal protective equipment. Yeah. So we really want to lead the way in terms of the safety of obviously this pandemic that we're in, to really set the standard for other events to then follow suit. So if you want your first ever tournament to be a VT tournament, then comment below, I want in. That's all you need to comment, I want in. It will be in the south of England, and it will be held there in the south of England, and it'll be a 1-day RTT, so you because obviously we don't know about hotels and stuff, but provisionally rock up for the day, have a great day, you get some event only goodies like objective markers, trays, all that stuff, and every single table will be complete with our Vanguard Tactics bespoke terrain, using the new terrain rules, and every single, so this is our jungle terrain, as you can see here, really good size, it's all modular, all pre-painted, and you'll be playing on a themed board. So you have the jungle terrain on the jungle map, we'll be playing on the new table size, we'll be rocking the new armies from 9th edition. It would be a great time to get together, throw some dice down and see what's good, because we're not going to know. So
I really hope there's going to be some weird and wonderful armies. What I'm really hoping for is the Blood Angels and or Space Wolves Dreadnought lists. Anyone that brings a Dreadnought only army is my new hero. So, I mean, you'll probably get a certificate from Joe saying you're my hero, which I would be slightly worried about if I was you guys. So, Carl said I want in, Brian said I want in, next to logo said I want in. Cool. So we've got 3 people signed up for the RTT already, and there will only be 40 spaces potentially, or 20. I can't remember which one it is, 20 or 40. There's either...
No, it's going to be 40 depending on COVID restrictions.
Yeah.
So we've got a big enough venue to hold it. It's just then we need to work out sizing with COVID restrictions to see how many people we can fit in. But let's say it's 20 and go from there. Yeah. Jack Downing, what a hero, said he wants in.
Good. And he can absolutely smash me up with his tower again.
Nick Jones says, looks like you have to find a way to fit that sound.
Oh, I noticed that you skipped over one with my name on it. You're just like, ugh.
What's that?
Oh, it's Jay. J. Brian.
Carl said the academy is well worth it. It teaches you so much more. The community is amazing. Absolutely, I couldn't agree more. We had a really good chat last night. I was on the Discord chat with the guys last night during the training night, just sort of discussing all things 9th edition for a good hour.
Question painting. On Vect, can you use it in the command phase to stop things like chapter? We don't know.
I'm not sure yet, but probably not. No. Jay Bryan has said Joe will never get over Dark Eldar being meh tier right now.
They're not meh. They're just so balanced that they sit comfortably in the middle. Yeah.
Nick Jones has said, looks like you have to find a way to fit that Sang Priest into your list. The Icon Relic for reroll charges looks like a must for 9th. I mean, he was a must anyway. The Icon is incredible, but remember, it doesn't always have to go on a priest. It can be put on anyone. So therefore, I've already got him in the list. I've already got a plan for my 9th edition list for Blood Angels. Already in. Don't worry about that, he's in. So I saw earlier in the Blood Angel group, right, they said, oh, this is a nerf to Blood Angels, the Overwatch thing, because it means our, I saw it the same in the Dark Eldar one.
It's probably the same person.
It's probably the same guy. Said, this is a nerf to our Angels wings now because it's not as effective. Which, I'll be honest, turn off Overwatch Relic was never in any of my Blood Angels lists in which I won anything with.
No.
It is an absolute trap. There are so much better relics in that book, and the Angel Wings is not one you want to put in there. So if you were already relying on that, you were using the wrong relic whatsoever.
Yeah. So hopefully, infantry can still charge through buildings. So if you deep strike into a building and charge from out of line of sight, it's still good anyway.
Yeah. I mean, that may change.
That may change. We're not sure.
So much stuff is changing. I'll be honest, the 8.5 edition does feel like it's just 9th.
Yeah.
It's
almost,
there's a lot of big changes going on.
It's almost an entirely new game.
So Brian said, but as an American, I don't think I'll be able to let out the US bubble while we were exploding with the virus. Yeah. Probably not, mate, unfortunately. But Brian, would be great to have you here. Jack said Joe can do on the Dread Army, my friend. I'm not sure what you mean there, Jack.
What do you mean, Jack? As in I can do one, or you can do one.
You can do one.
That's not as in you can do one, mate.
You can do one, mate.
Yeah, or you can do one of those armies.
I think it'd be you can do one.
Yeah.
Oh, anyway, you can just do one.
What do you want? 2 Leviathan Dreadnoughts. Both 2 close combat ones. And then 2, I don't know, Mortis Dreadnoughts. And then if it's Blood Angels, you want 3 Libby Dreads.
Right, guys, we're going to wrap that up tonight, and yeah, we are going to
Ibiza.
We're going to Ibiza. Yeah.
What, Ibiza?
No, Jack can do a Dread Army. He's got enough Dreads for it.
Really, with Space Wolves?
No, not with Space Wolves, but with you've got loads of Ironclads, Redemptors. Jack has literally every single.
Ironclads could be quite interesting now with their Hurricane bombers.
Jack has confirmed, Joe, you can do one.
Oh.
Yeah. So
as I can do one of those armies.
No, we're going to wrap that up. So anyway, guys, we'll see you tomorrow at 6 o'clock, and I hope you guys stay safe.
Yeah. I'm going to try and sleep. Look less dead. Will be good.
See you later.
Bye bye.